Okay, recording this video on Saturday, the 11th of January 2025, just gone 11:53 a.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend and time for another weekend futures market recap, where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Well, hell's bells, that was quite a week. First proper week's trading. Everybody is back at their desks and the volatility was big, which is all good news for us traders. But we also had the dreadful news out of Los Angeles with the fires, Pacific Palisades and Malibu. I used to live in LA for 6 years during the 90s, a couple of years in Manhattan Beach and 4 years in Malibu. Beautiful place, loved it, and it's heartbreaking to see all the devastation that has happened there. If you've ever driven up the Pacific Coast Highway from LA up north to Santa Barbara, you go on that stretch of road by the water where you had these homes that were been there for decades, a lot of them timber structures, beautiful, charming, I mean expensive homes, yeah, but just charming at the same time. And I lived in one of those apartments on PCH. And I don't know, if you have it in your heart to contribute to help some people out, I'll leave a link in the description of this video to a GoFundMe for the Reel In. As you're going north out of LA, one of the first places you reach at Topanga Canyon, there's a little group of shops and restaurants, and one of them is called the Reel In. Simple grilled fish, rice and potatoes type place, outdoor deck, people just hang out, and really good people behind the counter working there, and they're out of a job now, and this GoFundMe is to help them in the intervening time. I do hope these people are allowed to rebuild as is, because it was the charm of these places. I know it'd be sensible to rebuild with concrete structures, but the charm of the old timber buildings and benches was just great. Sad combination of natural disaster and incompetence at the same time, and this is going to go on for a while. They're not going to be able to rebuild quickly, and after the fires come the mudslides, unfortunately, because the fire destroys the vegetation which is holding the soil together, and so when the rains eventually do come, you get the mudslides afterwards. So unfortunately that is likely to happen as well, and the fires aren't over at the moment. Anyway, so if you do find it in your heart to help out, these people are a worthy cause, so I'll leave that link to the GoFundMe in the description. But let us talk about the markets, because we had a continuation of the sell-off. Is it all over? Last weekend's video we were talking about we still needed to get rid of the cyclical energy and to show those supports coming in. So we'll go through the Emini charts first, and I'll show you what is starting to line up there. Daily chart, reminder, we're still in an uptrend, because the last time we saw blue professional bars on the daily charts was buying the dip here. And so, yep, it's coming down and pushing people. We got a sign of weakness on better sine wave here, and so people starting to freak out and say this is the beginning of the end. Not so sure. As I go down the time frames, we'll be able to see where we're likely to see these cyclical supports come in. So let's talk to that on the next couple of charts. 135-minute chart here. So the better sine wave indicator is white. We're in a downtrend here. But we have had blue professional bars come in a couple of weeks ago with exhaustion sell buying the dip, and more blue professional bars coming in on Thursday, Friday's activity here. And you can see better momentum is positive here, and we'll see this on a bunch of charts going forward. So that is good news that there's more buying happening. And we've got a cyclical support happening here. So we busted through the intermediate time frame, and that's why we're white at the moment, but we've got a cyclical support in due on the lowest time frame here on the 135-minute chart. So is that going to catch? We'll need to see that catch and bust up through resistances in order to switch this around into an uptrend. 45-minute chart, there's all the blue professional bars, the bullish divergence that we had. We've come back down and down. No blue professional bars on this chart here, but you can see this is where that cyclical cross is likely to happen. We've got cyclical support on the highest time frame, we've got support on the lowest time frame. We need the intermediate to come in here as well for that to signal that we've just had an overshoot of this support on the lowest time frame, and it's caught by support on the intermediate time frame. You can see with that there, and again, better momentum is positive at the moment, so just bear that in mind, that better momentum is positive. 15-minute chart, here we go. A support in the highest time frame here has come in. It's a nice pullback to end of trend. The bars are still white at this stage, so we have not broken back up into an uptrend. But on better momentum here, you can see there's quite a lot of buying activity going on at these lows, and there's that blue professional bars sequence coming down here. So, yep, we've still got to do a little bit of work just to test here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that happen Monday, Tuesday. So just watch out for that. And lastly, the tip bar charts here. So here on the better sine wave indicator, here's a nice little pattern. Pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame. We're putting in pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. That cross is likely to happen here. At that point, we've overshot support on the highest time frame, so we're looking for some strength. And this is rippling through the time frames. I talk about these pullback to end of trends. We make them on the low, then the intermediate time frame, and then if it syncs up with a support or a pullback to end of trend support on the highest time frame, that's good. So it's not all bad news, is what I'm trying to convey. We need to see these areas hold and then break back up through these 5900 type levels. If we go to better pro-am on this chart here, last week we had exhaustion sell, but I said we hadn't had blue professional bars at the lows, and we'd likely need to see that before this was all over. So the week started off, we went for a little bit of a rush, and then we ended up with blue professional up bars and exhaustion buy at this point, and we broke into a downtrend. We didn't have blue professional bars at the lows down here. Yep, they tried to hold it at this point here, but it wasn't on the recent lows at that point. We just busted through that level. We tested into the highs of that blue professional bar range, and then we've come down to new lows down here. But at the end of the week, we did have blue professional bars come in. So as soon as that pattern has cleared, we will have the trailing stop come down, and that'll look interesting for a change in trend on the 13,500 tip bar chart. So it's not all lost to the downside. Yep, we got weakness this week and we pushed to new lows, but let us see if it's time to catch and time to start rallying. So if that's going to happen, that's going to happen in the first couple of days of next week. So Monday's activity is going to be key. If we can hold it, and then Tuesday maybe show some signs of strength and break back into the beginning stages of an uptrend. So that's what I'm looking for with next week's trade. Now, in terms of some of these other futures markets, hell's bells, we had some decent moves. Pretty happy about that because we had a video at the beginning of the year talking about 2025, and one of my highest conviction trades was a rally in crude, and that is exactly what we got. It went a lot farther than I thought it would go. We're up at 77s this week, but here we go on this chart. Ignore this pattern down here. I'm just going to disable that. This is better sine wave, and we talked about no activity on the daily chart for quite a while. 2024 was pretty quiet in terms of the activity here, but we had a lot of things that were holding us at this point. We had big things happen at triples, and we kept on coming down and making triple supports at 66, 67 down here, and then with this week's activity, bang, we busted above that resistance at 75 into an uptrend. And on the daily chart, I mean, it's amateur bars at the moment pushing us up, which is interesting, but with Friday's activity, we've pushed now into a resumption of the uptrend in crude. And when we go down to the tip bar charts, you can see how this all played out the last couple of weeks. So this is the beginning of the new year happening here. Exhaustion sell, everything's trying to hold, and we break into an uptrend and we just ratchet up and up and up. And then this move here, we had, yep, Rambo patterns, amateurs being wrong-footed midweek, and then we come back down, exhaustion sell, blue professional bars, pick it up here, bang, break above 74, and we went to almost 78s on the upside. So crude having a really solid couple of weeks. Another one, last week I talked about this move, again, just going to switch that off. We had triple supports lining up on copper. Pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, syncing up with cyclical support on the intermediate and the highest time frame here. And at $4, psychologically really important level, and we had a big move up in copper, almost 10% move in copper to $4.40. And then when you look at better pro-am at this stage, we're coming off a Rambo pattern down here at $4, so that's what we're moving against. So that's been good, and we go down to the tip bar charts here, and last weekend's video seeing some strength. Blue professional bars coming at those lows at $4. We take off to the upside. And they're super keen. Big pro bars come in, breaking above 415 here, and they hold it, break back above. More blue professional bars, big pro bars coming in that whole sequence, 415 to 420. Bang, we raced away to 435, almost 440 at the upside here. So, and all of that came out of, just turn these things off. Yeah, all these supports down here, pullback to end of trends, syncing up at the beginning of January here, sign of strength. We break into an uptrend here. Big things happen at triples. We either get big breaks or big bounces. We get a break at this point here at 420. We're breaking into a big uptrending move. It's not over because we've got pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame to make. Have we had exhaustion buy on the upside? No. Not had exhaustion buy, blue professional bars at the upside here, but you need to pick your entry points because the best ones happen during the week here. And gold, big move in gold, caught some of this during the week, which was nice. I didn't get all of the crude move, only a portion of that, but what was that? Thursday into Friday, got out of crude and got long into gold, but gold has rallied on the daily chart here. We had this breakout, blue professional bars buying above 2400, similar to the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin was doing the same thing, big pro bars. You can hear the chickens in the background. We're back in Kauai. Big pro bars buying this breakout at 2400, but they're not at the highs here, so the rally in gold is not all over. But at 2600 we had amateur down bars into this move, catching and it's rallied back up again. If you look at, I'm going to switch this thing off, the way this thing was lining up, we had break above resistance on the highest time frame. Big things happen at triples, big bounces, big breaks. We had a big break here and it's continued up and we're making a pullback to end of trend on that highest time frame here. But here is gold on the tip bar charts. With last week's activity we had blue professional bars at the lows here, and on this little dip down, blue professional bars coming in here. The buying breakout, the whole thing is an uptrending move because the background's in red. Any exhaustion sell patterns here. We don't have exhaustion buy. We have big pro bars coming in at the highs here, but no exhaustion buy at that point. And we've got to make pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame there. And then natural gas is unbelievable. Talked about this on the Forecast 2025 video. We had all of these big pro bars coming in at $3, $2.50 down here, and there we got the break to $4 this week, so that was super important. And then on the tip bar charts, a lot of activity in natural gas this week. Big pro bars coming at those lows, background bar in blue, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, break into an uptrend, a little bit of profit taking, come back down, professionals come in again, and on this dip, big pro bars come in here and they're $4, maybe taking profits a little bit. But this was exhaustion by getting the move going because it's in this range, in this congestion area. It's not at the highs. So we had some super nice moves this week. Corn as well. This is corn on the daily chart. So again, the end of last year, big pro bars come in here. We're holding, break into an uptrend, and then Friday's activity, big move in corn. And what are we going to do? Yeah, let's go to the tip bar chart here. There we go. Rambo patterns here on the dip, exhaustion sell, big pro bars come in here, test into those lows, and then wow, take off. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence at 470s up here. So we've had some big moves this week. I think the trends will continue, but I'm wary of jumping in after those big moves. We've got to wait for the right opportunity. And then the Forex market sold off nicely with the employment numbers coming out Friday. So we were trying to make a bottom here in the euro. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. Some blue professional bars come in here. We race away, but they come back down and then they sell it down at this point here. More Rambo patterns at these lows. So we've got to make that low again in the euro. So for the time being, we're in a downtrend. See if we can start to consolidate this week and down there. British pound wrecked this week. They were selling it down at this point here. Bang, bang, bang. No exhaustion sell down here. No blue professional bars at the lows. But on the retrace here, big pro bars into that range, testing right at that high. Big pro bars coming again, and they sell it down again. Really not happy with the UK economy at the moment. News coming out of the UK. Sell it down and down. Yep, blue professional bars, exhaustion sell. Big pro bars here, but fails. We don't get through resistance here on the trailing stop on better pro-am. So British pound still looking weak. Aussie dollar still looking weak. I was actually long at the beginning of the week, Aussie dollar into this move. Got out after profit target was hit. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence. Blue professional bars coming again here, and then they sell it down. But we got big pro bars coming in at the moment. No exhaustion sell on the downside yet. So all of these things have to base and form a bottom. Japanese yen had a nice day Friday with that bad news with the employment numbers. You can see there, big pro bars coming at the lows, 63.5, and we've rallied from there. So in an uptrend, but let's wait and see on that one. And the 10 years also got wrecked because there's expectations now that the rates are going to stay elevated and the Fed's going to be slow to lower rates. So that's bad for bonds. But big pro bars starting to come in here with exhaustion, sell, and bullish divergence. So it's in a downtrend all week. And let's see if we start to base there. Silver followed gold to the upside up to 31.5 or so, but it's not a clear a pattern as we had in gold. And Bitcoin still selling off at the moment. So last weekend we had exhaustion sell. It was a ways ago here. Exhaustion sell here on that dip. Blue professional bars come in there in an uptrend because the background's in red, which is nice. And then they took profits up here at 102, sold it down. Was an exhaustion buy at that point, and we've not had blue professional bars come in yet, so the trailing stop is still miles away. But 92, amateurs getting wrong-footed. So let's see if the professionals step in early this week on Bitcoin in that 92 to 94,000 area. And lastly, some ags. So soybeans, not terribly clear pattern in terms of the uptrend here, but we have had exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, big pro bars up here at 1033. So we're just testing under the lip there. So let's see if this breaks into a downtrend this week on soybeans. And lastly, wheat. Again, a bit of a junky pattern down here, but big pro bars coming at the lows here. So let's see if wheat starts to hold in this area and break above this congestion zone into an uptrend. So, large number of charts there. Sorry about that, but it was an active week. Can't see that anything's standing out at the moment for me in terms of those nice moves that we had in Aussie dollar, crude, copper, gold. So we'll have to wait for some consolidation. But let's see if equities and the E-mini holds in the first couple of days, because if that does hold, that'll be a nice rally opportunity for some part of next week. So that's what I'll be looking for. Anyway, hope your trading is going well and looking forward to next week's trade.